You ever look into the abyss and find it smiling back at you, mocking you with that familiar face you thought you'd long forgotten? No, of course you haven't. You're sane. You're not me. But I wasn't always like this. There was a time when I was somebody, a star. People knew my name, shouted it from across the street with wide-eyed wonder. I was a king in my own little kingdom of lights and cameras. But that was a lifetime ago, wasn't it? Long before the bottle became my god, and the only thing that greeted me in the morning was the bile rising in my throat and the stench of old whiskey clinging to my skin like a disease. It was Bongo, the puppet, the damn puppet. At first, I thought it was a trick of the light or the rot of too many years drunk and stupid, but no, Bongo, in all his hideous grinning glory, is real, or was real. I'm not sure anymore. Maybe you can tell me. Maybe you'll understand better than I do. He came back when I hit rock bottom. The night was heavy with fog, thick like wet cotton, wrapping itself around my head, suffocating the last fragments of who I once was. And then, through that swirling miasma, he appeared, his big, bulging eyes, the stitched mouth pulled into a grin too wide, too full of teeth, teeth that were never part of him before. They'd made him soft, goofy for the kids, you know. But now, those teeth, God, those teeth. He didn't belong in this world. He was something carved from my nightmares, not from felt and string. And yet, there he was, sitting at my kitchen table like we were about to catch up on old times. Eddie, old buddy, miss me? Bet you did. His voice, that same squeaky, childish voice I once laughed along with for the cameras, now twisted and wrong. It dug into my ears like a drill, gnawing at my sanity. Every word dripped with malice, though his face remained locked in that eternal, unnatural grin. At first, I laughed. What else could I do? Drunken hallucination, right? A figment of too many years spent drowning in booze. I tried to ignore him, tried to pass through him like smoke. But he wasn't smoke. No, he was real enough to touch, to smell. He smelled like the old studio, like dust and stale air. But beneath that, something else, something rotten. And those eyes, they moved, followed me, glistening with life that shouldn't exist in dead fabric. You can't run from me, Eddie. We've got unfinished business. He followed me everywhere, every room, every corner I tried to crawl into to escape him. He was already there, waiting. I'd see him out of the corner of my eye, standing impossibly tall in the shadows, just watching, waiting, biding his time, always smiling. He wasn't alone either. I could feel them, the others, my old co-stars, the other puppets. But they stayed hidden, lurking in the fringes of my vision, their felt bodies writhing like maggots just out of reach. I could hear them too, whispering, plotting, talking about me, about what they'd do when the time was right. And the more Bongo appeared, the more I realized this wasn't a hallucination. No, this was something far worse, something ancient, something hungry. Bongo wasn't just a puppet. He was never just a puppet. We'd made him for the kids, sure, but something else had crawled inside him when I wasn't looking. Something vast and old, something that fed on me, on my fear, on the broken pieces of what was left of me. It's funny, isn't it? You think you know what monsters are. You think they're hiding under the bed or behind a locked door. But no, they're inside you. They wear the faces you trust, the faces you love, the faces you made. Bongo, he wanted something from me. He kept saying that I had a debt to pay, a contract I'd signed, though I couldn't remember the terms. Or maybe I could, but didn't want to. He spoke in riddles, twisting my past into something grotesque. You sold your soul long ago, Eddie. Remember? Remember the lights, the applause, the fame? You didn't earn it. You took it. And now it's time to pay. I tried to fight him. I did. But you can't fight what's inside your own head, can you? It gets in, and once it's in, it spreads like a sickness, turning your thoughts rancid, pulling you deeper into the pit. And Bongo, he fed off me. He laughed at my pain, at my fear, his hollow, felt hands reaching for my throat, though he never quite touched me. No, he didn't need to. The touch was in my mind, spreading rot, corrupting everything I thought I knew. I'm not sure how long this has been going on. Time slips away from me now. I hear him even when I'm alone. I see his shadow in the corner of my eye when I close my eyes. The bottle doesn't help anymore. Nothing does. Maybe there's a way out. Maybe that's what he wants. To push me to the brink, to make me choose the escape. But even if I did, would it end? Or would he follow me into whatever comes next, dragging me into the endless dark with that damned grin still plastered on his face? There's no escape from him. No escape from Bongo. Because the truth is, he's always been with me. And I think he always will be.